bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Arc of Montgomery County assists people of all ages with developmental disabilities, but now they are facing some elimination of funds, and that's a problem. Hello again, and thanks for joining us. I'm Jen Boyette, and with me today on Newsmakers is Paul Stengle. He's the executive director of the Arc of Montgomery, Berks, and Bucks Counties, and today we're talking about state funding cuts for those advocacy services. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for inviting me, Jen.
Sure. So we should make clear that you do serve Berks and Montgomery and Bucks County, but it's just Montgomery County where you're facing some funding being eliminated.
Yes, we have received since 1986 $100,000 a year to do advocacy services in Montgomery County, and this year the governor has eliminated that funding.
Right, and also from the Philadelphia area too, but they're a different chapter, I guess?
Yeah, they're a separate corporation. The Arc of Philadelphia receives similar funding, and their funding is being eliminated as well.
Right. Do you know what that decision was based on?
No, it's really contradictory to what I would have expected. The governor has committed to protecting the most vulnerable. The cut was a priority of what would be cut, and clearly he has made significant cuts for people with disability, not only for the advocacy services for Montgomery County and Philadelphia County. He has eliminated funding to serve 494 people who are on emergency needs list in Montgomery County. So there are priorities being set because of the recession, and clearly disabled people aren't at the top of the priority.
Right. Well, tell us a little bit more about what would actually be cut because of this money not being there.
We basically fund 2 full-time advocates to provide support to families and persons with disabilities. We do numerous things for them. Whatever the problem is, we help resolve it. We act as guardian for some people who don't have family members to support them. We act as rep payee for people who get Social Security who can't manage their own funds. We attend educational meetings with families to help them get appropriate educations for their children. And a lot of our time is working with families who are in need of services for their children once they turn 21. And we spend a lot of time working with families who are in critical need of services because their families are aging or death in the family and they don't have the caregivers they need.
Right. Well, the Delaware County chapter or branch or similar organization faced cuts as well, but they managed to get that money back. That's correct?
Yes. The Arc of Delaware County received a similar funding as the Arc of Philadelphia and the Arc of Montgomery, Berks, and Bucks. But for some reason the governor has decided to reinstate those funds.
So any chance of that happening in Montgomery County?
We are hopeful. Our legislators are working very hard on it, and families are writing the Secretary of Welfare, Estelle Richmond, and requesting that they reinstate the funding. But in a meeting with the Deputy Secretary, Kevin Casey, of the Office of Program Development, he has made it very clear there is no way the funding will be reinstated, but we're still hopeful.
Any chance of getting it from other resources, donations or grants or things like that that could supplement?
No, in the short term. We have written this month all of our families we provide services for in Montgomery County last year, and there's about 2,000 families. And we've said we're in crisis, and will you please make a donation? And we're hopeful, but a lot of our families are not wealthy families. It's very expensive to have a child with disability, and again, it's very hard or impossible to raise money in a very short time. The money was supposed to begin on July 1st, the funding. We have not been officially notified that it's not coming, and we're running about a $60,000 deficit right now in our advocacy services.
Because it was already working, it's a retroactive cut.
Yes.
Right. Any way that people can help?
You certainly could write the governor or Estelle Richmond, the Secretary of Welfare, and say, we want you to prioritize persons with disabilities, and if you have to make cuts, don't cut supports and services for them. You could go on our webpage and get more information about it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for being with us today. Hopefully things will work out. And thank you for watching. This hour's Newsmaker has been Paul Stengle, and I'm Jen Boyette.